ways to help me expand my business, increase performance, and provide financing and advice when needed. One nonprofit executive stated that his financial acumen and financial assistance saved their business. Another peer stated that Randy's a role model, leader, gentleman, advocate, and mentor. He's simply the best. Randy's banking career has spanned 45 years in the Washington metro area. We first met in 1976 when he began his career in Arlington at Clarendon Trust Company, where we were both working. I've enjoyed watching his career blossom over several decades. He started as a credit analyst, then became a well-known, successful middle-market commercial loan officer, then an executive leader working for several banks in the Virginia and DC metro area. Randy told me that one of his proudest accomplishments was being the founding executive officer at a bank called Allegiance Bank in Bethesda. That's in that foreign country of Maryland. They grew that bank and they merged it into another community bank. In 1996, he became the executive vice president and chief lending officer at Virginia Commerce Bank in Arlington. And he helped grow that bank from $105 million in assets and 5 branches to over $3 billion in assets and 28 branches when they merged it into United Bank in 2011. And then he served as a regional president there for several years. For the past 7 years, he served as president and CEO of National Capital Bank of Washington, where he's grown that bank and expanded their business activities into Arlington. He retired in December of 22, but he still maintains some activities with the National Capital Bank. In addition to his banking acumen, Randy has been active in many nonprofits and other organizations in the county, and I'll list some of the most important ones, not all of them. The Arlington Chamber of Commerce, of course, has been very active in various leadership roles, including the chair of the chamber. He was the chair the year after the 9/11 tragedy in Arlington, so the business community was a little bit, the environment was a little bit unsettled at that time, so I'm sure that was a busy year for him. Leadership Center of Excellence, formerly known as Leadership Arlington. He was one of the early board chairs, and he stayed on that board for a number of years, helping them to build the organization. For the past 22 years, he's been on the board of the Arlington Partnership for Affordable Housing, which assists in providing funding and financing for low-income Arlington residents in need of housing. A couple other important board positions, and then I'll be done. He's been on the board of the Capitol Hill Community Foundation, Arlington Community Foundation, Mount Olivet UMC Foundation, and finally, the Virginia VHC Health Foundation, where he and his wife Jocelyn recently co-chaired a campaign to raise some $36 million in private donations to help fund a new VHC hospital outpatient pavilion. Now, I'd like for Randy to please come forward. So for your long and dedicated service to the Arlington Chamber of Commerce, to the business and nonprofit sectors of Arlington, the Arlington Chamber of Commerce hereby awards Richard B. Randy Anderson its induction into the Business Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
straight. I aspire to be Bob Hawthorne. That's the absolute truth. And Kate, I promise this will be short and sweet, although it may not sound like it at the beginning. Receiving an honor like this in combination with the milestone 70th birthday, which I had a couple of days ago, causes one to reflect on their life and the choices that they've made. When I graduated from Randolph-Macon College in 1976, the U.S. was coming out of the worst recession since World War II, and both inflation and unemployment were high. This, in combination with being a candidly late bloomer academically, predominantly due to my active social and fraternity life in college, resulted in a fairly limited selection of job opportunities. My choices were a store management trainee with Minnesota Fabrics, a sales position with Southern States Cooperative selling farm equipment and fertilizer, or a management trainee with what was then Clarendon Bank and Trust, courtesy of the father of a friend who was a director there, and that friend is still here honoring me today. I want to thank him. As I contemplated my options, I decided that the Minnesota Fabrics position was probably not a good idea due to my blue-green color blindness and a propensity to mismatch colors in my wardrobe, and thank heavens to my wife, she solved that for me. She's got a great color eye. The Southern States job also seemed questionable, given that despite having agriculture in my genealogy, I come from a line of actually farmers on one side, the closest I had been to a farm was the Reston Animal Farm. So taking all this into account, and the fact that one of the few courses I aced was accounting, I chose the wild world of banking, and I started at Clarendon Bank and Trust the Monday after graduation, thinking, a little banking knowledge, a little finance knowledge would be useful for whatever I decided to do in my real career. Little did I know that at that time I was headed down a path that would give me everything I was looking for in a career. Challenge, entrepreneurship, financial rewards, the ability to help people realize dreams of building their own businesses, and last but certainly not least, the opportunity to give back to the community of family, friends, clients, and colleagues that had given so much to me. Many of those friends, family, clients, and colleagues are here this evening. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, not only for this recognition, but for the opportunity to know, serve, and be friends with you. It has absolutely meant the world to me. Thank you very much.
When you say the name Randy Anderson in the Arlington community, it immediately elicits a smile, great respect, and often a really great story as well. There are so many lives you've touched here. I know you have a lot of friends here. Can you give a wave if you were here tonight in support of Randy? I just wanted to see that volume of support. And if you're not waving, again, you might stick around, go say hi. Because there's somebody right before the end of the night as well. But a huge congratulations, Randy. This is incredibly well deserved. Randy kept saying he was surprised, and we were saying, we're surprised you haven't been inducted at this point. Again, incredibly humble, again, always putting others first, and incredibly well deserving of this amazing honor. As are all of our amazing winners tonight. Let's give it up, a big round of applause for all of them. Practice. Actually, every night before bed, my husband and I both say 3 things we're we're grateful for the day. They can be big things, they can be small things, they can be our jobs, our health, a good meal we had that day, it can be anything. But we're gonna end this on a moment of gratitude. We really want everybody to think about how fortunate we all are to be in such an amazing, thriving business community with so many amazing people doing great things, not just for their own businesses, but for the broader community as well. It's incredibly rewarding and incredibly fulfilling. One of the things I'm grateful for is our amazing team. Let's give it a big round of applause. So many of these events, and our staff executes them all flawlessly, and it is incredible and so appreciated. So for our 100th anniversary, we're trying to do some fun things. Again, I always say I learned something new from each chair, and last year's chair, Tina, was great at making me have more fun as well. So we're having a little fun tonight. So we have a special game as we conclude. So in celebration of the Chamber's 100th anniversary, we launched a new edition of Arlington-opoly. We actually discovered through the archives in the 90s. We did one of those before, but we brought it back with a refresh. So I'd like to ask everybody to look on the back of your seat. One person at each table will have a red sticker on there.